Mark and Kaylee are some of our most recent converts here at the church. And I remember where I was standing, we had actually set up the whole congregation in a circle, and I was preaching from the middle, preaching about Acts and the first Christian church and the community that you find there. But for some reason, God had prompted me, it wasn't really in my notes, to really speak about how this Jesus is just historical, that he really did live and die and rise again, that this is history. We follow a real Jesus who really died for us. And I remember a young lady sitting to the left of me named Kaylee, just hanging on every single word. I'd never seen her before, never met her before, and I remember noticing her. She didn't speak to me after the service, and we all left. And the next day, on a Monday, I received an email that she'd been doing research on spirituality. She'd been going to the local library to read books on different religions, and as part of her research, she wanted to come to a Christian church, and she had seen that lots of things had been happening at this particular Christian church across the street from her.
That sermon, I swear, it was like God was speaking to me right through Brandon.
And so she showed up on that Sunday morning, and apparently when I began to speak about Jesus and how he historically lived and died and rose again for our sins, it clicked with her that this religion is different than any of the religions that she had been looking into previously, and she became a Christian.
That day I went home from church and I picked that Bible up and I just started reading it, and it was just overwhelming. Like, it felt like the right thing.
So I decided to give it a chance, and that's when we went to prayer. And instead of being a prayer session, Brandon ended up preaching to us all night. And at the end of the night, he said, "This isn't at all how I planned it. It was supposed to be a prayer night. I ended up preaching." He said, somebody in here must have needed to hear the word. And I looked over at Kaylee and I said, "That was me. He's talking about me. I needed to hear that, And I went in there to, looking to save my relationship, and I walked out with a new relationship with God.
He's brought me peace. He's saved some of my family through his word. He's brought so much love.
Things that I felt early on was it wasn't that we were coming out to St. Rose to start something new. It was that we were coming out to this community to join in on something God was already doing. We had 4 salvations happen before we ever had our first Sunday morning service, just through prayer and through reaching out and relationally sharing Jesus. It was almost as if God had primed the people, as if they were waiting on us to get here with the good news.